Welcome to this video. In this video, I will explain Docker and Vagrant. I also show some Docker command. I might show how to install and run some containers for PHP platform and Java platform. This is Said from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Let's see. So what is Docker and what is Vagrant? Actually, they are lightweight virtualization. I think, for example, let's say you are running Windows. Now you want to develop applications in Linux, but you don't want to reformat your computer hard drive and install, but you can use the VirtualBox Linux and then you can develop software in it. But your production platform or your test platform or your host, I think what I can say, if you have a different application, they might be using different tools or different versions. So in that case, if you want to create a virtualization or the virtual computer for each of the applications separately, it will be highly loading and taking lots of resources. So yeah, that was there. I think for each of the application, different virtual machine, and you install the tools required for that particular setup or particular production related stuff, and then you develop, and then, but that's pretty heavy. Then another lightweight version is Vagrant. Vagrant is also one kind of virtualization, but it's just a little bit lightweight compared to the separate virtual machine for each application. It will also have its own operating system as part of this virtual machine, but that might be a skeletal version of the operating system that you will be developing for. I think, let's say for one application you want to create some variant of Debian Linux on PHP MySQL, so you create one Vagrant using those operating systems. So, but if you are using, let's say, another Java application that you want to deploy on Linux platform, production will be Linux, then you can create another Vagrant with let's say Ubuntu Linux, all the required components for Java. So the previous Vagrant and this new Vagrant, those will be separate instances. You can just Vagrant run and Vagrant SSH, and you can develop applications in there. So yeah, in these Vagrant instances, these are not the full-blown virtual machines. These are lightweight virtual machine with only the required component for a lightweight version of the operating systems. So it's a one step better than the completely separate virtualized environment, virtual machines. And Docker, it's more lightweight than Vagrant. Vagrant is one sort of virtual machine, but Docker, we say it as a virtual environment. It's not a completely virtual machine, because Docker, it will be utilizing your underlying operating system, and it will be create it will not have any operating system as part of it. It will be using different images. I think containers and images. I think images. You probably can in one container usually will be running one application. Let's say one PHP, one Apache, or probably one Tomcat, one Java. I think all of them, they will be sharing the host operating system. But you can, I think, for your particular application, you can combine those particular tools and versions for a particular application. It's not that you always have to have one application per one container. You probably can combine the related thing, probably for a particular version of PHP, particular version of Apache. You can combine those individual processes, images into one Docker container, and then that can be one application. So you can separate, but though theoretically and ideally, it is told one image or one process per container. So yeah, it's just creating a virtual environment, lightweight, because the operating system is the host operating system. All those are sharing. Yeah, and you do not need one particular virtual machine and install all the tools required for that particular application in that virtual machine, and then another virtual machine, whether it's Vagrant or full-blown virtual machine. So yeah, you can share those processes and images and containers for your particular need. So let's see which one. I think this will be a good document for understanding Vagrant and Docker. Vagrant is easier to understand, easier to put up and run, because things are separate. I think the individual processes, containers, how they interact, how to combine. You probably don't have to put thoughts, or I think Dockers will be. It will take a little bit more time to start with, but it probably will be easier to understand. Because conceptually, all those are separates, and whatever you need in one Vagrant, you are combining everything together, and all the Vagrant instances are separate, applications are separate. Yeah, but for the same platform, if you want to implement multiple applications, that will be using the same tools and versions and everything, and the production environment will be the same. Probably in one Vagrant instance you can develop multiple applications. That's all right. But for Dockers it will be a little bit more complicated to start with. But yeah, Docker's architecture is harder to understand and can be harder to get up and running, but it's much faster. So setting up Vagrant, I think you can check our own another video on creating development environment for PHP 7 using Vagrant. Yeah, you have to install VirtualBox. It can be VMware, it can be Oracle VirtualBox. Then you have to use the Vagrant. You have to install the Vagrant. Then for a particular project, you can create a directory, and you can create a Vagrant file, and you can mention there what are the tools that you'll be using, software tools. Yeah, and then you can just go Vagrant up. So it will be creating that platform, and then you can go Vagrant SSH, then you're into the virtual machine, then you can develop your software there. Okay. Yeah, I think the host operating system and Vagrant operating system, you can keep a common folder where you can share files between your host operating system and Vagrant operating system. Okay, so they're just showing that they will be downloading a Git package that has the Vagrant file and everything, and then yeah. Okay, let me see. I'm using a Mac terminal. So it will be creating Vagrant local. We are just combining. Okay, this might take some time depending on the whatever is inside the configuration. Let's see. Okay, so this is the configuration there. So yeah, probably you can also mention how much RAM it will be using, or those kind of things, some configurations. And also you can use Vagrant provision to refer to another script that will be installing the required tools for you. Yeah, and you also have some Vagrant images that you can use, just like this one. Okay, setting up Docker. If you're setting up Docker in Linux platform, Docker is the default operating system for Docker is Linux, so it will be easier for you. You can install Docker there. let's see, probably a command like yeah, this one will work. Let's see, docker yeah, so you can run it here. But if you are in Mac or in Windows, you have to download this Docker toolbox. You have to download it, install it, and then you will see something like this. So, and you can run it from the applications Docker. You can run it. When you run it, then you will be get access to the Docker command. And what does this Docker toolbox contain? It is the main Docker engine, Docker client and Docker engine, controlling the Docker engine, all those things. So yeah, that anyway, Compose. I think rather than running, you can combine multiple Docker commands into one. I think yeah. I think there will be one another example. Yeah, just a configuration to combine the Docker commands and configurations and containers and images and all those things. Yeah, Kitematic, it's a GUI platform for managing Docker. Anyway, for Mac, you have to download and install, and then you have to run it. So then we can create a Docker machine. Yeah, it's a yeah. So yeah, this is a Docker virtual machine. I think Docker virtual environment, that's what we're talking about. We'll be creating a Docker virtual machine, Docker virtual environment using a command like this. So it will be your so it's already exist. I used it before. And actually we'll be creating another video to make those concepts more clear. Whatever I have told, I might explain it in a better way or more, or using some more examples. For now, it just yeah, some information on it. So Docker VM new, that what will be so we'll be checking the configuration, mission configuration. So yeah, it will be taking a little time, but you can see just now I created another default virtual machine. So when I was trying to see the configuration for this, you can see the configuration here, the IP address and port, and yeah. So these are the path for this Docker machine, Docker virtual environment. I hope it's yeah. So it's actually giving you Docker machine environment, Docker VM new. If you want to see the configuration, I think it's giving you the command here. Okay. Okay, now if we want to create a MySQL container, we can, yeah, it's just one container, one process, one image, one, yeah, that's it's for PHP platform, right? PHP MySQL platform. MySQL, you can use it in Java or other languages, so that's all right. Okay. So it didn't find MySQL 5.7 image locally, so it's downloading, and then it will yeah. If you want a hello world image, I think there are some hello world image you can run it like this. So yeah, we are creating a MySQL container. So you can for each of whatever you need, you can create your container, and you can also combine multiple software into one container as well. So that's the MySQL container. This will be the WordPress container. Okay, just an example, right? WordPress is a content management system. Yeah, it's used by many. I think if you go into Bill, you probably will see WordPress. They are using it. Governments, universities, they are also using it. Let's see if you search for Bill WordPress CMS jobs. Yeah, I think some university sent Laurier University or something in Waterloo. I saw them also using. Let me see where we are here. Okay, download complete. Okay, it's extracting. Yeah, then when we install this container, we can see what are the containers that are running under this virtual Docker virtual machine. Yeah, I can see. Anyway, not a big deal. So that's the MySQL container. You can also check right now. Okay, what was the WordPress and DB password? So that is what we had. Okay. So it's downloading WordPress. Okay, PS, that's the Linux command, but we have to use the Docker PS to see. Okay, we can. So yeah, the Docker compose that we were talking about, I think Docker toolbox, the compose. I think so far we are doing individual commands and something. So you probably can mention, yeah, the WordPress, the MySQL thing, WordPress thing in a composer file, and Docker can use this to create those containers. Yeah, it's like similar to Vagrant file. So you have to see Docker compose up -d WordPress. Okay, so this is the image. Depending on this image, there will be a WordPress container. So these are some environment variable, environment ports, volumes, links. There's the MySQL image that we'll be using in the configuration. secure docker compose app -d. So it will be there. So I think so far you can see it's a WordPress development environment using Docker. It's not the PHP MySQL, but it's kind of there. So yeah, I think there is one another. It's Docker for Java. There will be Java development environment. Let's see, I might create it as part of this, or I can create another video. Let's see. And this looks like this is a little bit of older version, older document, and this looks like kind of newer in recent time. So let's see, what can I do right now? Docker ps, so WordPress container and MySQL container. We can see both of them. Let's see. Actually, if we try this is my, let's see. So it is just an example. Yeah, I think they're already there, right? Already allocated already. I think what I could do, maybe it's a port, right? I can give a different port, and if you run it, it will run. I'll not do it because I don't want to waste too much system resources or hard drive space for now, because I will not be using it right away. So I think I probably can create another video for the Java. I might explain the Docker and Vagrant stuff there as well, just to so that people can understand if they are watching that video separately. I think all these videos, those will be on SiteStree.com. You will find them here, and you can subscribe to our newsletter just to get notified of the videos as they will come. You can see the background that you can find it here. You actually will see way more videos here. I think the Java platform, .NET platform. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can sign up. Thank you. Bye bye.